We're going to welcome Louis back in to Studio 104 so that we could have a little chit chat with him. So y'all let us know when Louis is ready. We are ready to see him. Do y'all have a favorite from those four? Bravo! So Habit, Too Young, Perfect Now, and Walls, what we just got to preview.
Say that again?
Habit, Perfect Now, Too Young, and Walls is what we just got to preview.
Yeah. Any favorites? Any? Too Young, Habit. Anyone
Too
like
Young.
Walls? Walls? Some educated people at the back. Very nice. Yeah.
They're all good. Okay, so Louis, the fact that you have come this far now, you're about to launch your tour. You got your solo album. I find it very interesting with all the artists that we talk to in radio, the whole, lane they take when they're writing these songs or think about these songs. So, did you have a whole bunch of songs that you were thinking about even before you decided to go down the solo road and you just kind of chalked them away? Or all these like fairly new things that came to you for Walls?
Yeah, no, I wish it was like that because I've done a lot of learning on the job, to be honest. It was kind of a leap of faith through my solo career, really. I hadn't really given it like some proper thought. It's not as if I was sat on half a catalogue of songs to go with. So I kind of had to develop my sound and work on my writing while I was in the job, really.
Okay, so we're going to take some questions regarding songwriting.
Cool.
Where's Hanan? Am I saying your name right? Hanan? Hannon. All right,
All right,
Hannon.
love.
That's
How's it
Hannon.
going?
So she wants to know, when writing a song, do you tend to start with the title, the lyrics, or the beat? What comes to you first? Or what came to you first with these?
Everyone's different. Every writer's different. Personally, I normally start with a title or a concept. I'll have something that I want to talk about, and that might be a title, it might be a concept, and then the song will kind of grow from there, really. Then the melody will happen, and then the lyrics will happen after that. But it starts off with a concept most of the time.
So the melody comes first.
The concept comes first.
Well, I'm sorry, yes, the concept. But the melody after
listening?
that,
Are
I
you
was
listening
thinking
or what?
lyrics. I was just thinking, because to me, if I thought of something, I'd like wake up and jot down some lines and maybe figure out the music later. But for you, it's the melody you get first.
Well, you might have an idea of what the kind of content that the areas that you want to talk about, but also melody, can kind of take you in another direction, really.
Yeah.
So I feel like, as I said, it's different for every writer, but normally start with the concept, let the melody happen, and then put the words to it after.
So when you were putting together Walls, which of the songs that you have was the first song that you're like, this is the one that's going to be, was it Walls was the first one? Or let's say, do you tell us, which was the first one you wrote for this album?
Oh, the first song I wrote for this album? Wow, that's a good question. It might be We Made It.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I sat on that song for about 2.5 years. So,
2.5 years.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, another question. But see, what's interesting is some of you guys didn't write your names. So if it's you, just raise your hand. Who would you like to collaborate with the most in the future? Who wrote that question? What's your name? Sarah wrote that
A
question.
reluctant hand
She did a little stick figure there. Me and Louie, LOL.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute. Forgot your name though, love. But yeah, the picture's nice.
Yeah, Sarah wants to collaborate with you. But who would you like to collaborate with the most?
I get asked this quite a lot, and for some reason, it's always quite a difficult question. It's not really on my radar, to be honest, because I started out at the start of my solo career. I did 2 features. I worked with Steve Aoki and BB Rexa. And I feel like it's more important that I kind of stand on my own 2 feet and say this is exactly who I am as an artist. So it's not really on my radar, really, at the moment.
Okay, collaborations usually mean you're a fan of somebody. And I would love to ask different artists, who is somebody you fangirl for? Like in all the times that
Every
you've been...
interview, a few of these on that. Yeah, exactly. Every interview I get asked what new music I'm like at the moment, and I only ever have one answer, and it's this guy called Sam Fender, so probably him. He's good, check him out.
Okay, but I'm talking about somebody that maybe you grew up listening to, like let's
Oasis
say
Oasis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
got to be.
So have you met them and done all of that with them and hung out with them? No.
Not really, no, not really.
Because we just think people in the UK all just know each other. We all know each other here. You guys should all know each other there.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so Steph, where's Steph? Steph is right here.
All right, love.
I thought she was going to need a little breathing bag earlier. I wasn't sure she could breathe. Steph's question is, what was your biggest influence for this album? Like anybody, artists inspire you?
Other than the artists that I've spoke about in the past, I grew up in the north of England, so that band sound was prevalent. I grew up just 20 minutes away from where Arctic Monkeys grew up, so that sound is massive there. I think my biggest The biggest thing for me on this album is honesty, and I think that is, I know it's not a person, but it's definitely something that's helped me shape this album, I feel like.
Well, that's great. So the tour is coming here to Houston, July the 9th. You're going to do 17 different countries in 5 months. What is the biggest thing you're looking forward to on the tour?
Other than to be really vague, just the whole tour. I mean, I have been waiting for this moment for a long time. That is definitely the best part of my job. You know, it's amazing being in the studio. It's amazing creating. It's amazing doing things like this. But to be at the tour show and you know, to be able to look into the fans' eyes, I think is a massive thing. So just the whole tour, really, in general. That first tour show, I think I'm starting in Barcelona. So, yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Have you missed it?
Yeah, proper. I was lucky enough in One Direction to do it every year, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been like 3 years since I've been up road, so I'm excited.
When it was time for, when the One Direction train came to the stop and now it's time to figure out what you're going to do next, was there a window, Louis? And you can be honest with this, as honest as you want to be.
Thank you.
It kind of was, because look, I think some people would hold back on this. That's why I'm asking you. You can be as honest as you want.
I'm only winding you up.
I think that when you are part of a machine like One Direction, where you toured every year and you had millions of screaming people at you, clawing just to get in the same airspace to breathe, is it weird when it just goes quiet for a little bit? You're like, whoa, I get to like hear my own thoughts.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely been nice to have more free time, more time to spend with family and friends and do normal things. I feel like I get the best of both worlds now, really. I have a little bit more time to myself, but I still have, you know, an incredible fan base behind me. So I feel like now I get the best of both, definitely.
Can you still do things by yourself? Because if you walked into a store, I still think they're going to freak out and attack you. I don't know if you can still do anything by yourself.
Yeah, I can.
It's just
If
a
I
little
pick the
bit-
right times, yeah.
Right, all right. Okay, that's good to know. What song on your new album was your favorite to record? Who wrote that question? What's your name? Caitlin.
All right, Caitlin, love.
Caitlin, what song on your album was your favorite to record?
Favorite to record or write? Record? Yeah. Favorite song to record? I'd probably say Kill My Mind. It's got a lot of energy in it. So, you know, it's for a singer, it's something that's fun to sing in the studio, definitely.
Take us through the process of putting the album together. How many songs do you record like in one set? We're like, okay, that's it. We got it. We nailed it. This is going to go on the album. Is it like 3 a day, 2 a day, 1, 5?
Normally I only do one.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a certain authenticity that needs to come through in the vocal, and I feel like, you know, if you spent all day doing vocals, you'd lose a bit of the magic and a little bit of the honesty, you know, in the voice and all that. So yeah.
So that makes sense. I wouldn't want you to rush that, right? Of course not. Okay, so where's Lourdes? Lourdes' question, if you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, Louis Tomlinson, what is the one song on the spot?
On the spot, every time, it's Rock and Roll Star Oasis. Has everybody in this room heard that song? Raise your hand if you haven't heard it. Right, now you got your homework, haven't you? Nice.
Would you sing that cover on your tour?
Nah, there's certain songs that are just too good to cover, and I think that's one of them.
Okay. Is there any song that you plan that, okay, maybe not that one, but maybe there's something you just think is fun to sing?
I did recently, and I used to sing it when I was a kid before I was in the band. I did Mr. Brightside recently, The Killers, and that one always goes down well with crowd. You were there? Yeah, nice.
All right, I'm going to do some quick fire questions for you because we could, all these people know everything about you. They pretty much know that, like, when the album's coming out, when the tours, they all know that. But here's maybe they don't know some stuff, and maybe some people are newer. You don't have to raise your hand, but maybe you don't know everything about Louis Tomlinson. So I'm going to do some quick fires because you've done everything. You've been everywhere, and you have downtime. And on downtime, you're on planes, you're on trains, you're on buses. So do you pick war movies over mob movies or mob movies over war movies?
Honestly,
Zero.
For like the last 30 seconds, I didn't really get a lot of that. That was very quick.
You mean I talk fast?
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry.
Between your accent and my speed, I don't know what the hell we're doing. Okay,
sorry.
War movies or mob movies? Which would you prefer?
War movies or mob movies?
Yeah, like Saving Private Ryan
I've
or The
seen
Godfather.
more mob movies. I've seen more mob movies in the past. Yeah.
All right, burgers or tacos?
Burgers. Tacos annoy me because they're hard to eat.
Where in the
Messy.
United States, is there a place that you're like, oh, I remember going to this place, I had a good burger there?
Well, I'm about to go to Philadelphia, so I'll get myself a cheesesteak there.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
true.
Yeah.
Not a burger, but it's fine. It's Philadelphia.
Don't need to be pedantic about it, but yeah.
What's your favorite fan moment that sticks out to you? I mean, no matter how old you get, you will always remember this, up to this point. I mean, there's something that had to stick out.
It's a pretty cliche thing to say, but when we first got put in a band the first place outside of the UK that we got recognised was in Sweden. There was like these fans waiting for us like outside the studio, and like that was a crazy moment. That was like the first time that outside of our home country that we'd been recognised at.
Are you here for us? Was that your?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your besides Houston, which we're gonna just get cliche and say it's Houston, but what's your favorite city in the USA? When you know you're gonna come to the USA, you're like, oh, I can't wait to go to the city.
Oh, well, I spend a lot of time in LA, like LA. I don't spend enough time in New York. I like New York. I'll go in New York.
Okay.
Is that cliche as well?
No, it's not. Tough. But I feel like I know for you guys, when you guys tour, you really don't get to see the city you're in.
That's it. I'm trying to think where I've seen a lot of, and to be fair, I've seen a little bit of New York, yeah.
All right, favorite vacation spot. When you have downtime, where's your favorite place in the world to vacation?
Ibiza.
Really?
Yeah, easily.
Every time?
Every time. It's magical there, yeah.
Has anybody ever
and
been there?
Vegas once every 3 or 4 years, you know what I mean? Can't do it every year.
Vegas every 3 or 4 years. All right. What do you look forward to the most when you get back home from a tour, traveling, doing press, things like that? What do you look forward to the most? Favorite chair, favorite pillow, favorite person?
Probably just like, we always get caned, English people, for bad food. We've got great food, and I'll say that right now. So I always miss like me English food and stuff, and me nan's a wicked cook, so every time I go back up to Doncaster where I'm from, she always cooks me a proper
What's
nice
your favorite thing to eat?
It's tough, either a full English fry-up or a...
Oh, what now? Does that sound good?
An English fry-up. Yeah,
okay, fry-up.
Yeah. It's the only way to have breakfast, get to know.
So what's in that? Tell us what that is.
Sausages, eggs. You know what a fry-up is, don't you? Sausages, eggs, bacon,
These girls are like, I
beans.
don't know what that is. I will eat that.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what I like to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right, Lou, last question. You started out in the acting world before you became part of One Direction.
Funny, yeah.
Do you see somewhere far in the future, after like 7 albums and 15 tours, all this, you have a little fire inside you maybe to jump into the acting world, be in a movie or something?
I mean, never say never, but I don't not right now.
Yeah.
I kind of live in the moment anyway. Really, I'm not a very good planner. So like how I feel right now, I'm really into the music. I'm loving doing the music. So I think I'll just stick at that. And I never really I did little like extra work when I was a kid, and then they bring it up in interviews and say, "Oh, I used to be an actor." I didn't. But I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Because I will say, what you've done in this room that we haven't done is the elite access to NASA that you guys got to make that video.
We were just talking about that. That was by far
Ellington Field and
one of
NASA.
the sickest things I've ever done.
That's got to be one of the most memorable experiences,
I
right?
mean, it is, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible. I got to ride like this like space buggy in that. Yeah, it was
Amazing.
proper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it a huge round of applause to Louis Tomlinson.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Walls
Love yous.
Is the album. We're going to see you in July. Louis, thank you so much.